Alrighty, just a little before 3:40 on our Wednesday afternoon. I'm Power 5 meteorologist Allan Nosoff here in the Digital Weather Center, and things are getting interesting, friends. Almost right on time, just a little bit delayed, but this delay could cost us big time with the amount of snow we're expecting later on this evening and tonight. So right now, I wanted to show you this. This is 480. As the camera keeps spinning, what you can see are snowflakes now mixing in. This is 480 at West 220th Street. So this is on the west side, south and west of downtown Cleveland. Temperatures are still above freezing, but as that snow continues to get heavier over the next couple of hours, this will transition to all snow and quickly start to stick. So let me actually pull another camera if I may. Let's see here. We're going to do this live right now. Right over here. Yeah, this is out toward the lighthouse, Marblehead. And over there, we're talking about a coating of white on the ground. The snow has already switched over on farther to the west. I'm talking about areas west of Lorain County where it's now all snow and it's sticking. And that's going to cause problems into the evening commute because once those temperatures really plummet, all bets are off for significant snowfall, especially snow belt areas, primary snow belt. I'm going to show you that snowfall map in just a moment, but if you're seeing snow where you are, let me know. If you're seeing rain on the east side, east of 77, you're probably hopping on right now and you're like, what snow? Hasn't gotten to you yet. It's going to be another hour or two until it reaches us. So keep that in mind. It's going to take a little bit of time on the east side. So let's take a look. This is the Power 5 radar right now. And what we're looking at, there we go. Now that changeover line, the all snow line is now pushing into Lorain County as we speak. So Vermilion, we're now seeing all snow. Out toward Amherst, same idea. Lorain itself right now, it shows rain. It shows rain, but we're seeing that mix right now of some wet snowflakes mixing on in. Same idea. I just showed you 480. Let's actually go a little bit toward 480. Right over here. Yeah. It's raining pretty heavily, but that rain is actually mixed with wet snowflakes. That's what we're seeing there. So whatever you're seeing, let me know where you are. Lori just commenting, let's see over here. Rain still in New Philly. Yeah, exactly. You're gonna have a little bit of time before you see that switch over to snow. Let's actually head on down toward New Philly. That's all rain. Right now, it's all rain through Goshen and Dover and Bolivar and Brewster. It's all rain right now. The rain-snow line is pretty much paralleling 71 right now. So this is Ashland over to Mansfield. We're seeing that switch over to snow. Light snow because you're farther away from the center of the storm. The center of the storm, I mean, the radar only goes out so far, but the center of the storm is actually going to pass us to the north across London, Ontario. And as that continues to do so, we're going to miss out on the heaviest snow. The heaviest snow is going to be Ontario, Buffalo, upstate New York, where they can get a foot of snow out of this. Here for us from this system snow, it's going to be a general 3 to 6 inches of snow plus lake effect. So that's why we're really talking about some significant snow when you add everything together. Not quite a nickel and dime because that implies, an inch here, an inch there, but this is kind of a little bit here, a little bit there. Just right now, this evening, it's really poor timing because it's the evening commute, and that's going to be a little bit of an issue. So let's take a look. So New Philly rain, let's see. Drizzle in Parma. Parma is about to switch over in literally the next 5 minutes. Let me show you this. Parma right now, it is literally drizzle. Like if you go down State Road, if you head down, let's say, into Parma Heights along Pearl Road, it's very light rain right now, drizzle, but this is going to change big time. I'm literally going to move the Power 5 radar just a couple of miles over to Brook Park along 71. Look at how much heavier this rain is. It's a little harder to tell because, of course, the radar beam is coming from Hopkins Airport, which is nearby, but this is heavy rain that's about to push on through and switch to a mix in the next 5 or 10 minutes. So, Laura, let me know in like literally the next 5-10 minutes, you're going to see that shift from drizzle to big, chunky, wet snowflakes on top of some of that rain. So that's what it looks like for Parma right now. Let's see. We got Lisa in Medina saying rain. Yes, same idea. Let me hop down here. Let me hop down toward Medina. Same idea right now, but that's going to change pretty shortly. Medina, actually, you're probably starting to see that rain become heavier and mix with some wet snowflakes. So if you aren't seeing those wet snowflakes now, in the next 5 or 10 minutes, I'm going to pretty much bet you're going to see at least some snowflakes. And then in the next half hour, it becomes more and more snow. And eventually, in about an hour to 2 hours, the snow will start to stick as temperatures go down below freezing. Let's see here. We got Rona saying rain in Madison. Yes, you're going to see that switch over one of the last people because you're on the east side. On the east side, we don't have a lot going on right now. So let me zoom on out. Take a look. Just rain for now. Rain snow line's not too far away, though. That front is over the lake. And when you get that little kick of lake effect enhancement, I mean, look at some of this dark blue. I mean, let me try to draw it for you. There's problems when you deal with 3 monitors right over here. This area is all pushing this way. So in the next hour or two, things will start to get interesting even on the east side in Ashtabula and Lake counties as well. It's going to take a little bit of time, though, so let me clear all that out. Let's see. We got Karen in Westlake. Rain is changing to snow right on time. Let me go back to Westlake right now because, yeah, we're literally seeing it right now. There we go. Look at that. It's literally that rain snow line right here. It's literally dropping about a mile every few minutes down to the south and east as cold air continues to crash down. Bring it on, Kania. You're going to be one of the last people to see the changeover, but you might see some of the highest totals because of the lake effect that kicks in later tonight and lasts through midday tomorrow. Let's see. We got Deborah saying Valley City, just rain. Yes, rain for now. We're going to see that switch over happening very shortly. So I wanted to hop on right now because on the west side, we're really starting to see those changes. And 77 points east, we'll see the change in the next hour or so. If you have loved ones who are at work and they're able to get out an hour early, 2 hours early, tell them get out now. Because once that snow line crashes down, we're going to see that snow pick up in intensity. The sun goes down too. The wind is swirling that snow around. It feels like single digits in teens. It's just heavy in a hurry, and it makes travel conditions difficult, makes it difficult for the ODOT crews to do their job. So that's what it looks like there. Let's see. Susan saying rain in Bedford and getting colder. Yes, temperatures were in the lower 40s just a couple of hours ago. Now we're in the middle 30s. We're just a few degrees away from freezing here at Hopkins. Let me actually show you right now. So Susan and everyone watching, let's take a look together right over here. So bear with me one moment while I pull up the temperatures. And there we go. I mean, look at this difference. We're talking about 39 here. So we actually warmed up a couple of degrees here in Cleveland. But look out towards Sandusky. Sandusky was near 40 degrees just 1 hour ago. We've fallen almost 10 degrees in the last hour and change. That is impressive. So that's what's heading in our direction for everyone across Northeast Ohio. This might be the last we're going to see above freezing temperatures until end of the month. We're talking about some of the coldest air we've seen, not since last year, not since the year before that. I'm talking 5 years for the length and duration of the cold that we're expecting. That's coming from Arctic Canada and eventually closer to the Arctic Circle by next week. A little bit of a tease there, I know. It sounds kind of crazy. Air parcels can literally travel these long distances over the course of 7 to 10 days. And we have good enough technology now that shows us where our cold air is coming from. I'll show you that on a different post because right now what we're talking about is the snow that's about to hit us. So right now, I'm not necessarily going to talk in depth about that. Just know we're talking about significant cold and these 40-degree temperatures, 41 Coshocton, Millersburg at 40. It's the last we're going to see of these 40s until 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now. Crazy stuff. Let's see over here. We got Kathy saying rain in Hartsgrove, confirming. Then we got a question here. What about Strongsville? All right, let's go back to the Power 5 radar. Because Strongsville, you're about to see the changeover very shortly. Let me zoom back down towards Strongsville. Right now, you're just seeing light rain, but this is literally the front. Let me draw it for you. We're literally seeing the cold front. Let me get the mouse right over here. This is the cold front right here. This is the dividing factor between 40 degrees over here. This is 40 plus right over here. And over here, it's already down into the 20s. So that cold front right over here, that's really the dividing line. And while this shows heavy rain, this is actually rain mixing in with some very big snowflakes, wet snow. It's not sticking. It's causing issues visibility, though, on the road. So keep that in mind. Visibility along 80, let's say, if you're heading west toward the turnpike, toward the split with 90. If you're heading on 80 this way, conditions are tricky from Berea points west. Berea points east. So Strongsville, you're okay now. Brecksville, Independence, you're fine for now. Things change, though, heading into the next hour or so as this continues to shift off to the east. Let me take that off the screen right now. I got a couple of comments here. I love the snow. Hey, listen, one of the reasons Northeast Ohio is awesome is that you get all the 4 seasons and you get some of the most intense kinds of precipitation, severe weather. I live for that. I love that kind of stuff. So it's an impact, of course, to the evening commute. Keep that in mind. But as from a meteorological perspective, as a weather nerd, this is, of course, awesome to see. A couple more comments. Let's see. We got Kathleen saying snow in Norwalk. That is exactly right. Look at this heavy burst of snow. You can literally see the banding now starting to set up. We got literally one band right over here. You can see that band right there. We have another heavier band pretty much right over here. And all of these are pushing basically east-southeast. They're all heading this way. So Cleveland Metro, this band right over here in Lorain County, that's about to enter Lorain County, that's going to continue pushing east and head into the Cleveland Metro into the 4 and 5 o'clock hours, just in time for rush hour. So keep that in mind, that this is going to cause issues on the roads heading into the evening commute. So Maureen saying snowing in West Park. We just had a comment a couple of minutes ago saying some wet snowflakes mixing in. And now Maureen says it's all snow in West Park. Let me take a little bit of a closer zoom in to West Park right now. I mean, honestly, this is interesting because radar is still showing rain, but it's that mix of snow and rain right now in areas like a West Park. Lakewood showing rain. I mean, actually, if there's anyone watching right now in Lakewood, in Clifton Park, Rocky River, Edgewater, let me know what you're seeing right now, because radar right now shows rain. You can see it's getting a little heavier. Literally, if you're traveling along Clifton, along West 117th, if you're traveling along Lorraine, it shows as rain, but I'm pretty convinced that we're already seeing that changeover, switching over to snow. That's what it looks like there. As we head on over to the west, again, that rain snow line has been crashing. I mean, let's rewind this back in time just a little bit. As we go back, literally just 20 minutes ago, look where the rain snow line is on radar. Barely getting into Lorain County, so I'm going to draw it right there. So this is 333, right? Let me advance this to 353. Right there. Rain snow line now here.
It's snowing in Cleveland.
All right, we got a Mr. Phil Sakel in the house. He's saying it's snowing in Cleveland. Despite the radar, look at this. Radar, I'm going to get out of the way here. That's all rain on radar. But the radar is doing a pretty bad job as this cold air is just rushing on in. It's pummeling, I mean, literally pummeling Northeast Ohio as we speak. It's moving at such a fast clip. So take this with a grain of salt. I'd say probably the accumulating snow line. Let's put it that way, the accumulating snow line. And if I were to do a quick measurement here, bear with me while I grab the ruler. How far has it moved? It has moved 20 miles in 20 minutes. So literally the rain snow line is pushing at a mile a minute right now to the south and east, a mile a minute. Just the quick math right there. What else do we have here? Philip saying rain snow mix in Avon Lake. Yes. Chris, snowing in Menor. Ooh, a little surprised the cold air pushing in with that lake enhancement. I mean, let me zoom on out. Let me head toward Menor right now. Radar still shows rain, but as we can tell from your report, Chris, Phil's report, as he literally just walked in a couple of minutes ago, it is snowing. So it's not gonna stick yet though. We need the temperatures to fall below 32. Let's take a closer look at those temperatures right now. Elyria now hit the freezing mark. That's pretty much, I think, why the radar is showing the rain snow line so far west, is because it's waiting for the actual temperature to fall to 32 and below. So Elyria, you're going to start to see the roads get pretty bad pretty quick. If you're out toward downtown Cleveland, where it is now snowing, it's going to take another hour before the temperature falls from 39 to 32, and then we see stickage on the roads. We got another hour or so. Menor, yeah, that's probably why. We're down to 33 in Menor. We've actually fallen 5 degrees in the last 15 minutes. That's pretty crazy stuff. Man, what a winter so far in Northeast Ohio, mainly temperature-wise. Remember, it was just 64 degrees not too long ago. Man, Northeast Ohio weather, man. Even as a meteorologist, you can't help but admire just the craziness that Mother Nature brings. We got Nancy commenting snowing in Amherst right now. Connie saying sleet in Brunswick. Let me hop back to the Power 5 radar now because this is interesting. It's very interesting. Let's go to Brunswick. Yeah. I mean, look at that. That is most definitely sleet. I'm actually going to ask Phil. Phil, he's over there somewhere. Phil, can you switch a couple of the ODOT cameras to 71 or 77? 71 like Strongsville, Brunswick area. I'm thinking south of the airport, south of Brook Park maybe, or maybe a 71 at 80.
This is at 480.
480. All right, let me pop in the camera right now. I mean, that snow's falling. This is 71 at 480 right now that Phil just pulled up. Look at those snowflakes flying. Now, one thing that's a little deceiving, cameras do a better job than the human eye at making it clear. There's a lot of science involved. I'm not going to bore you with that right now, but the camera sometimes is a little deceptive because you can clearly see the snow, but you can see the visibility is okay. It is worse when you're driving. And I mean, look at these slowdowns. People are not taking it the speed limit. I can tell you that for sure. And visibility wise, we're talking about 1.5 miles right now because you can see the road up to the north and east of this camera shot. Now this, yeah, about 1.5 miles is only going to get worse before it gets better. So that's what it looks like there. Kimberly, I'm just going down the comments here. Kimberly saying snow in Eastlake. Annette saying snowing in Perry. So hey, Eastsiders, I mean, this might be actually speeding up as we speak because I said it might take another hour or so. Maybe not. For it to start to stick, probably an hour, but you're likely seeing those snowflakes flying. All right, let's see here. Rain in Andover. You're going to be one of the last people to see that changeover. Snow in Lorraine, says D. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are now seeing that switch over to snow as we speak. Let me go back here. Again, temperature-wise. Bam, look at that. We were at 39 3 minutes ago. 39 now, 34 in downtown Cleveland. We just fell 5 degrees in 5 minutes, friends. That's the power of the cold front moving on through right now. So this is all on track with our forecast. The only difference is that the arrival of this cold is just a little bit later. I know yesterday Trent and Phil, they were talking about how this would come through midday, maybe even during the morning. The only difference between our forecast and what actually happened is that this is a little bit delayed. Now, think of it this way. When you throw a rubber band, pretend you're back in grade school and you had the rubber band and you throw it, right? That rubber band effect is actually not in our favor, or it is in our favor if you're a fan of snow, because we allowed the cold air to work its way in on time while the precipitation has waited before it started to pick up. Now, the longer you delay, basically the more you pull on that rubber band, the more intense that throw is, the more intense the snowfall is going to be. That's exactly what we're seeing right now. So the Arctic air came on time. The precipitation waited a little bit. And when you have a storm moving into an invading Arctic air mass, that is the recipe for heavy snow bands and for this to be more robust than a lot of our computer models were showing. I've been off. My typical weekends are Monday and Tuesday. And I've been tracking it along with Trent and Phil and the rest of the team. And I was like, this is going to be more significant. And we did up our forecast. We were actually by far the most intense of all the forecasts. And that 4 to 8, I mean, let me show you right now our Power 5 forecast. So By the way, guys, this is also interesting because we're in our digital weather center, but at the same time, we have a show, News 5 at 4 starts in 1 minute. So I'm going to break away by doing the regular weather stuff while I'm on Facebook Live. So bear with me if I'm not answering some of those questions. I'm going to pull down the comments real quick. Bear with me here. Going to hide the comment 30 seconds away. So I'm going to get back to the snowfall forecast. I'm just going to do the regular weather hit right now. Let's see, what do we have here? Oof, yeah, it does not look good. All right. So I'm going to be talking for a little under 2 minutes on TV while I'm on Facebook Live. And once I'm done with the TV hit, I'm going to go right back with you, the viewers here on Facebook Live and on YouTube as well. So here we go. All right. All right, here we go. Yeah, that's right, Damon. And we're seeing that snow changing in real time. I'm here in our digital weather center. So right after this, you can hop on to Facebook Live as I'm tracking these snow showers moving on in. Road conditions, less than ideal. This is 71 at 480, a little bit south and west of downtown Cleveland. We can see the slower traffic. We can see the snowflakes flying, and we're going to start to see it stick very soon. This is the radar right now. Look at that. This is literally our cold front between 71 and 77 as we speak. Cleveland is starting to see snowflakes, even though the radar says rain, and eventually the snow will be very heavy and start to stick. Look at Strongsville right now. You're about to see that changeover from rain to really big, chunky snowflakes, which will make visibility very difficult and make travel tricky for the evening commute. We've been warning you about several days now for the potential of impacts for our commute on Wednesday, and unfortunately, that is verifying to a T. You can see the colder temperatures as well working their way in. It was 39 degrees just 10 minutes ago. Now we're at 34 in Cleveland at the freezing mark. And wherever you see temperatures freezing mark and below, that snow is sticking half an inch per hour, if not greater. Sandusky, 28. You were at 38 just an hour and a half ago. So the temperatures are falling fast, and they'll continue dropping. Look at these lower 20s across Michigan, lower 20s in Detroit, and that's all pushing in our direction. So alerts, they were expanded, like I told you at noon, that we get a bigger variety of these alerts. Winter weather advisories for most of Northeast Ohio, primarily north of Route 30, lake effect snow warnings across much of the primary and secondary snow belts. I'll let you know how much snow to expect and when it ends, coming up in just a few minutes. All right, just like that, the magic TV. Done with the weather hit. That's fine. You can keep it on as I'm also talking to one of our directors here, Mark. It's a little bit of TV magic that we only do here at News 5. And this is one of the awesome things about the evolution of television and trying to get accurate, important, healthy information over to you in many different ways. So let's see. Let's go over here to a couple of comments. D, yeah, you mentioned how you were not seeing snow yet, but now you're seeing the snow. Linda saying ground just about covered already in Milan. Wow. This is what I mean about this becoming heavy in a hurry. That this storm means business in terms of that temperature drop, and the precipitation has no choice but to, hey, it's below freezing. I'm going to start to stick on the ground, and that's what we're seeing right now. Question for Connie. Do you think Ashtabula is going to get a lot tonight? So I think we're going to see quite a few snow days. A little bit of a spoiler for our kids watching right now if you're already back from school. Let me go back to the snowfall map here, friends. All right, here we go. So let me zoom on in here real quick into the snow belt. So look at this. I added this pink area. I was talking with Trent a little bit earlier. We already talked about this 4 to 8 for a while, and we've had it on TV talking about how a lot of spots are going to get more than 4 inches out of this. Now, the best chance I'm not saying everyone's going to get it, but you see this pink color, this area has the best chance to see 8 or more inches. Now, if there's one band that sets up tonight into tomorrow morning with 2-inch per hour snowfall rates, someone in a very isolated location, and I don't mean everyone, we know how lake effect snow works, and a couple of isolated locations where those squalls persist, we can get 13, 14, 15 inches of snow. And the best chance, I would say, would be northwest, northwest like Portage and Geauga County, right here, east, very northeastern Cuyahoga, north of Solon, northwest Geauga County, and then another potential bullseye for far eastern Ashtabula County. I'm talking about east of Route 11. This area right here, and then this area right here. These are the best chances to see double digits. Overall, 4 to 8 inches. But where those squalls persist, that's where we can rack up the totals just a little bit more. That's what it looks like there. We got a couple more comments here. Becky saying, ready for the snow in Geauga County. Depending on where you are, I just showed Geauga. Chardon, I think, is an easy 7 or 8. Maybe a little bit more than that, depending on if the band hits you. Let's see here. Andy asking, any school closings in Geauga County? Now, I like to tell this to everyone. I'm a meteorologist. I'm not a school official. The best I can do is let you know how much snow it is and what kind of an impact it is. And I can tell you some of these spots here in Geauga County are going to get over 8 inches of snow. And it'll be actively snowing, maybe not heavily, but actively snowing tomorrow morning. So it's not looking great for travel, I'll tell you that much. That's what it looks like for Geauga County. Let's see over here. Jessica saying snow in Paynesville. It's making it down across Lake County. I love this. Gretchen here in the comments. Gretchen's one of our producers who's actually producing the 4 o'clock show right now. And this is awesome. So, I mean, that's probably about 8 minutes now. So when I finished my first hit on TV, the next one would have been in 11 minutes from then. And I have 3 minutes and 45 seconds for that. Look at that. Man, the power of social media. Gretchen, I love you for that. All right. Let's see here. Anthony asking how much coming in Paynesville. So this is interesting because I like to factor in certain things that I've seen, trends throughout the winter so far. And one trend I've seen is coastal areas of Lake and Ashtabula have gotten the short end of the stick in terms of snowfall. Either it's been more like grapple and not as intense and all of the bands have just missed you. So because of that, I trimmed a little bit. So let me actually take a little bit of a zoom in with you. Not really supposed to do it with this graphic, so I might accidentally break this graphic, so bear with me. But like you can see how, look at how we go from 2 to 4 to 4 to 8 to possibly 8 plus in literally, what is that, 10 miles? That is a very sharp gradient. We always get sharp gradients with lake effect snow, but this one in particular is extra sharp. So that's what that looks like there. Let me hop Futurecast with you here as well really quick. This is, again, notice in literally less than 1 hour from now, look where Futurecast has the rain snow line, down to Akron. Akron right now is still upper 30s and plain old rain. So in literally 45 minutes, you're going to see that changeover. And this will continue pushing to the south and east. So by 7 o'clock, most, if not everyone in Northeast Ohio, all snow and heavy. One band right here, another band right there in the primary snow belt. And this will continue through about 9 or 10 this evening in terms of steady, moderate, if not heavy bands of snow. Let me take down this comment here real quick. And then, just when you think, okay, snow's going to be over, psych, nope, look at that, fill back in. Look at this. Look at this. There's going to be more lake effect snow, lake enhancement moving on in here, about 1, 2 in the morning, through the morning commute. This is 6 a.m. And this time around, the snow is going to be like powder, super fine. This is perfection for the ski resorts, for everyone doing any sort of winter sport activities. It's 12 and moderate snow in Medina tomorrow morning. 12 and moderate snow, not only is the fluff factor going to be extreme, like the snow ratios are going to be 20 to 1 with this tomorrow morning. We might have something known as dendrites. which is a fancy word for saying the perfect snowflake. In the meteorological sense, a dendrite means the snowflake takes up the most amount of area. It's the biggest fluff factor, which means the snow piles up quickly. Even though it might not be super heavy snow, it could still stack quickly through tomorrow morning. Another burst is likely around midday, maybe late morning, around noon. Notice it fills back in. And the reason why our forecast for the last couple of days had areas not under a winter alert see significant snow is because of the direction of the wind and the amount of energy this storm has. Even tomorrow, when it's mostly lake effect, there is still an influence from today's storm. So some of the heavier bands will be on the south side of Cleveland before it finally leaves around 7 o'clock. So that's what it looks like there. Let me pause this real quick. Let me just make sure I didn't ruin the snowfall graphic. But yeah, again, this is why we had areas on the south side be in the heavier totals on our map. This includes Strongsville down to Brunswick, and even on the west side. That's why Lorain County got included in that lake effect snow warning. Elyria, 6-7 inches of snow. Same idea for Brunswick. Over to Solon, might be closer to 8 inches there. Chardon could be closer to double digits. Jefferson could be double digits. So that's what it looks like on our snowfall forecast. Let me make sure I'm prepared here for the for my main weather hit here real quick. I mean, you can see also the difference in the wind as well. I mean, take a look at this. Where you see the cold front is where the wind picks up. So Worcester, you're seeing the changeover happening right now. In the next few minutes, the wind is going to howl. The snow is going to pick up in intensity. It's going to be coming down at a really good clip. Let's see here. Kelly asking, what about Brunswick? It's coming down now. Yeah, I just mentioned Brunswick. I think easy 6 inches of snow in some parts where that squall persists. So it could be a little bit of a discrepancy between one side of town to the other. It might be 4 or 5 in one place and then closer to 6 in the other side of town. So just keep that in mind. Let's see, we got a question here from Alyssa. Alyssa's asking, likely too early to tell, but do you have any insight on how difficult traveling from Cleveland Heights to Lorain might be tomorrow midday? No. I think it's going to be okay travel, as in I think that ODOT crews are going to have tons of plows and salt, and as long as that happens, road conditions should be okay. They will be still slick. There will still be some parts where blacktop might be in and out. So as long as you take it slow, you'll be okay. Defensive driving, just watch your surroundings, be extra careful, no distractions, yada, yada, that typical stuff. But I'd be a little bit more worried on the east side and south. So 480 corridor out to the east, Geauga, Lake Ashtabula, I'd be a little bit more worried there. I hope that helps. But through the midday hours, conditions will slowly but surely be improving as the heavier snow starts to taper from the lake effect bands. Any other questions or any other comments? People, if you are seeing that switch over, just let me know. If you're still seeing rain, let me know. If you're seeing anything on the ground, let me know too, because I'm curious. In Ashland, is anything sticking right now? Elyria, is anything sticking right now? So I'm just curious, where is it sticking and where is it not yet? Bear with me real quick. Let me just make sure my 7-day is loaded up. Let's just make sure everything is correct. Not quite. Bear with me. I'm going to do a little magic here. I forgot to input a couple of numbers. So I'm going to input these numbers right now based on my forecast from earlier. All right. I'm going to click save. I'm 1 minute away from my live TV hit. So you're going to see a little bit of magic. Let's see. The number is going to update. You're going to see this number change. Let's see. Might take a minute. This number better update before my hit. Let's see. It's taking a little bit of time here, but by the time you see the 7-day forecast, you'll see it change. Let me just get ready here. 30 seconds away. Alrighty. All right, I'm going to step away here from the Facebook Live. You're going to see what you would see on TV. It's going to be the same thing for about 4 minutes, and then I'll be back with you. I'm expecting some comments in the comment section, so I'm watching out for that in the next 4 minutes. All right, here we go. 10 seconds, guys. All right, thank you for that. 4:14 on our Wednesday afternoon. I'm here in the Digital Weather Center right now, tracking pretty big weather changes right on cue with our forecast. That switchover is happening as we speak. You can see that cold air crashing down. Literally, the rain snow line just an hour ago was not even in Lorain County. Now the rain snow line has pushed into the 480, 271 area right now. That's about a mile a minute. This rain snow line has been crashing as this cold air has been working its way in. What does it look like in the next hour? Rain snow line right now, again, 480, 271. That rain snow line is going to be south of Akron in the next 45 to 50 minutes. And it'll continue to push to the south. So by 6 o'clock, most of us across Northeast Ohio, all snow. Now, wherever you see temperatures 32 and below, that's where the snow will be able to stick, because temperatures above 32 is more of a wet snow that melts, especially considering we had rain before the snow. Makes it extra hard for the snow to stick. So we might lose the first half an inch to an inch of snow just purely to melting. But by 7 o'clock, it's 25 in Cleveland. Snow falling at an inch an hour is going to cause big issues on the roads. So if you can leave work now, I'm recommending you do so, because road conditions will get bad fast. This is 9 o'clock. Looks like the back edge of the storm is here, but watch this. Bam, it refires as lake effect kicks in. There's very little gap between the regular old snow from the system and the lake effect. And look at this, just cranking all night long. Not to quote Lionel Richie there, but this snow will be a very powdery snow. This is tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Look at the temperature, 12 in Medina, Akron at 13, Ravenna at 13. Very powdery snow. Perfect for ski resorts, but really bad in terms of the fluff factor. It is going to be super fluffy snow. Sure, it's easy to just dust off, but it'll be flying. Blowing and drifting is going to be a problem for the morning commute tomorrow. And this lake effect sticks around until tomorrow evening. By about 4 or 5 tomorrow afternoon, we're going to start to say goodbye, and eventually it leaves by about 7 o'clock, which is when the winter weather advisories and lake effect snow warnings are expiring. So how much snow are we looking at in total? We bumped this up just a little bit, but we were already talking about the potential for 4 or more inches of snow for several days now, if you've been tuning on in to Trent and Phil's forecasts. So this purple color here includes much of the Cleveland metro and the west side into Lorain County is 4 to 8. For our friends south of Route 30, only about an inch or 2. But into the snow belt, look at this. This is where we see the best chance of 8 inches plus. It's more isolated because it's where squalls persist. Again, 4 to 5 is going to be more common than 7 or 8, but there will be isolated spots where those squalls persist where we can get closer to 8 inches of snow. So that's what it looks like with the snow forecast. How about the rest of the 7-day? Because we do have more snow on the way. Watch this. It is just brutally cold tomorrow. 19 degrees. We continue to fall, so it feels like 0 or just below it all day long tomorrow with 30-mile-an-hour gusts. Then we see a bit of a break Thursday night, early Friday, but then a few more snow showers roll in second half of Friday into early Saturday. This could be another 1 to 3 inches, maybe a little more with lake effect. More lake effect on Sunday. In the next half hour, I'm going to talk a little bit more about next week, because we could see the coldest air in several years. All right, TV magic. We're clear from the TV side, from Channel 5's end, but on our Facebook, we continue to proceed. So let me pull back here with our Power 5 radar real quick. And let's go down to the comments. Let's see here. We got Jeremy from Mayfield saying, just switch to light snow. Like clockwork, everything is moving. Samantha saying, raining in Brickfield, you'll be one of the last people to see the changeover. So wait a little bit longer, you'll see that change. Tracy saying nothing in Canton, you will also be one of the last people to see the changeover. I just showed it on the Power 5 radar. Let me zoom this out real quick. Down toward Canton, look at this. Not a lot, just light rain, mist, drizzle, not a lot. You still have a bit of a ways to go, but you can see how fast this is advancing, right? You can see that crashing cold through Medina County right now. So how far away is that? About 35 miles or so. 35 miles away. So another half an hour at least you don't have to worry about. Travel will be okay for the next hour in Canton. After an hour from now, that's when things will start to get interesting in Canton. In Akron, more like 30 minutes from now, like I just showed you on TV. So I'm going to clear this real quick. Deborah saying Valley City switching to snow. Interesting. Thank you for that, Deborah. Lindsay saying raining still in Worcester. Huh. Interesting. Hold on. Let me get to that Power 5 radar. It's coming. It's about to change over in Worcester very shortly. I'd give it another 15, 20 minutes until you start to see the wet snowflakes mixing in. So 15, 20 more minutes of just plain old rain. Let's see, a couple more comments here. Phil saying, coming down in Lorraine right now. Cool. Good to know. I mean, it is coming down. Let me see if I can pull up a couple of our cameras here. Bear with me 1 second while I do so. Let's see here. Again, let me know what you're seeing where you are. This has been very helpful so far, so I can give a little bit more of an accurate reading on what we're seeing right now. So this is Akron right now. Akron, it's still all rain. It'll be rain for a little while longer. Things are going to change, though, pretty shortly. Let me hop back to, let's see here. I'm trying to find some of my cameras. I might have misplaced them a little bit farther down here in my show, so bear with me while I try to grab them. Camera. All right, let's see here. This is downtown Cleveland where it looks like there are wet snowflakes mixing in, but good news, Shoreway is just wet roads for now because it's still above freezing, so that's great to see. Let me get a couple of other camera angles here going. So bear with me real quick. Let's go to the Hilton camera. Oh, I spoke a little too soon. Look at this. After the Science Center, snow is already sticking on grass, which means the temperature is about 32, 33 right now. It's borderline. It's what I like to call marginal. Get it? Marginal road? Marginal? No? Okay. So the meteorological term for temperatures that are only borderline for snow versus rain is called marginal. So we're seeing marginal conditions right now. Road is wet. It's slick. But this is what's to come. Once we drop 1 more degree or maybe 2 more degrees, this will start to accumulate quickly, and this is going to cause pretty bad road conditions, unfortunately, for the evening commute. So, yeah, that's what it looks like there. Let me see if I can get the camera with 90 up real quick. Ooh, it's getting interesting, friends. This is looking out toward Cleveland State University. So it should say CSU here. Can you see it say CSU? I don't. Do you see it online? I don't think so. That means visibility is now under a mile here in Cleveland with heavy wet snow right now. And while road conditions will be okay for the next few more minutes until the temperature drops below freezing, that visibility is not great. On the road, it's worse than what you see here because I mentioned this a few minutes ago. Camera does a better job of looking through the snow and the rain. That's why our dash cams look better than our eyes. Like we're driving and it's like, why is the visibility so bad? Then you look back at your dash cam footage and you're like, I swore it was raining heavier than what it looks like. That's a common thing, and I can elaborate on that a little bit more later. But I wanted to keep it moving here with what we're seeing because the weather's not waiting for anyone. That rain snow line continues to crash. 271 right now is getting interesting. Phil, question for you. Is it possible to get a 271 camera somewhere? Like a 422 maybe? 271 at 422 camera maybe? Or 480 at 271? Because it looks like that changeover is happening literally right now along the 271 corridor. So things might be getting bad quick. Down through Bedford, through the Heights, it's switching over to just plain old snow. So travel along Route 87, not the greatest through University Heights is getting iffy. Through East Cleveland, Collinwood, it's getting interesting. Cool. Solon is about to get that changeover very shortly. I know we have one of those cameras on 422 in the Solon area, not far from Bainbridge as well. We have one camera there. Let's see over here.
71 north on Rem 20.
Rem 20, okay. Thank you, Phil. Let me see here real quick. 271 at 480. we're starting to see that changeover because the visibility is lower. Watch those trees. It's hard to tell that it's snowing, but we are seeing a few wet snowflakes. You can tell by the visibility, those trees are very muddy in the background. So good news is for now, temperatures are above freezing. So road conditions, the salt, very effective. You can see very clearly lots of shine on the roads, but that's just plain old rain. As long as you are driving safely, it looks like people are just below the speed limit. There, it looks like people are going about 50, 55 instead of 60. So, so far conditions are okay on the east side, but this will get worse before it gets better this evening. Let's see here. A couple of comments. Michelle saying it's getting nasty in Wycliffe. I mean, yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. Because we're seeing that changeover happening right now. Pretty much the changeover. Let me draw this real quick. Right here, literally along 71 right now. This is our cold front. Let me just draw the squiggles here. Cold front. This is the cold front. So on this side, it's 40. It's 40 degrees here. And over here, it's like 25 right now. That's the power of the cold front. It's 40 here. It's 25 here. This is a big difference. This big difference means business. So, all righty, let me clear this out here. Michelle also commenting, glad to be home from work today. Yeah, today's a great remote day. Tomorrow's going to be a great remote day on the east side as that lake effect continues, and south side. So if there's an area that I'm especially worried about, let me just zoom out here a little bit. Where am I most worried about more significant accumulations? I'm including Lorain County in the south and east of 90, this area, through central Medina County, north of Akron, like this. This is the area that I'm most worried about some significant issues right here. This is likely our bullseye. And this is areas where 6+ has the highest chance of anyone across Northeast Ohio. So south of 90 in Ashtabula County, very southern parts of Lake County, because I feel like Lake County has seen the short end of the stick so far this winter. And I'm not going to go against what Mother Nature has been trending throughout the winter so far. Down to the south and west, same idea. Strongsville, Medina, these areas near Brunswick could get a little bit more. That's what it looks like there right now. All righty. Boom, boom, boom. Going to hide that. Going to clear this out. Let's do a little bit of a reset here because I'm going to be up on TV in the next 3 minutes. So I need to make sure I'm ready for that. But yeah, this is getting interesting. I mean, look at this dark blue. It's probably a little overdone, but the snow is coming down right now in Medina. Brunswick right now, yeah, it's coming down for sure. It looks like there might even be a little bit of a break right now in southern Lorain County near Pittsfield and Rochester, but this is going to fill in quick. So traveling along Route 18 toward Norwalk, there's some pretty heavy snow right now in the Norwalk area. You can clearly see this band right now, right there. Look at that band. That's some heavy snow that is pushing that way to the east. So even though it looks like it's lightening up in parts of Lorain County, it's going to fill back in very shortly. Alan's saying getting bad here in Sandusky. I mean, yeah, I can see that here on the Power 5. Let me actually go back to our Marblehead camera because Marblehead is right on the lake, right? It's right on the lake. So it's going to be a little bit harder for snow to stick there because the water temperature is above freezing. Let me see if I can get a camera actually right now of Marblehead. Look at that. Look at that. Well, also look at the waves getting kind of gnarly there. Snow on the rocks. No, that is not a drink name, just snow on the rocks. And then we got some snow on the concrete there as well. So that's what it looks like there at Marblehead. So yeah, everything is looking on track with the forecast. I know it's a little hard sometimes. I'm looking down here. I do not have my monitors here because we do have the 4 o'clock show running there. So I'm just looking down here a little more often. Let me see here. Phil, can you just wiggle the traffic computer, just make sure that it's updated? Although I don't see the... Oh, no, the traffic computer, links 3. Can you put the map up? Let's see, and then wiggle to see if there are any incidents anywhere. I'm going to pull it up here real quick. All right, you got it? Perfect, thank you. All right, I'm pulling it up now. Right now, it doesn't look all too bad. It's going to get worse. Oh, I spoke too soon. Phil is updating it in real time right now. This is in downtown, East 9th, near Chester Ave. I mean, it's not, I don't know if that's snow related, but we do have that. And then Berea at West 110th. We also have a crash there. And then looks like on 80, on the Turnpike, westbound, looks like that's on the shoulder, west of Elyria. So we're starting to see the accidents piling on. Might be weather related. Also, notice some of these slowdowns. You see these kind of blips of red. That could be a little problematic. All right, let me get ready here for my next hit because we're about to go live again. 30 seconds away. Okay. Let me do this. Okay. Cool. Alrighty. 15 seconds away, friends. I'm going to step away from the Facebook Live. I'll be right back. Yeah, exactly, Damon. I'm here in the Digital Weather Center right now, tracking that switchover. It's fierce. It's coming quick, about a mile a minute. I was actually taking a look with our Facebook friends on Facebook Live. Look at this. Man, you don't see this very often, how quick the snow is winning. I'm going to take a little bit of a closer zoom here across the Cleveland Metro. That is some pretty nasty snow. Brunswick along 71, along the 480 corridor, same idea. Not great. Now, 271, we're seeing the switchover happening right now. So it's very big, chunky snowflakes. Visibility, big issue. Now, road conditions might be okay for now, but all it takes is for the temperatures to fall below freezing, and then we'll start to see the snow stick. That's what's happening right now in downtown Cleveland. We're at 32. We were at 39 at 4 o'clock. We've fallen 7 degrees as that snow has won out. Elyria is below freezing. We're starting to see roads stick on the west side. Sandusky's at 28. I was just showing the Marblehead camera a few minutes ago on Facebook. We're starting to see snow coverings across the rocks, across the concrete, and this will continue to push eastbound. So areas like in Summit and Portage counties, you're like saying, what snow? It's not here yet, but once it's here to stay. That's why you've been expanded. You've been upgraded to that lake effect snow warning for Summit and Portage for the potential of more than 4 inches, maybe even 6 inches of snow. So for the next several hours, it's all about the dropping temperatures. 20s that feel like teens, and then eventually low 20s feel like single digits. Brutal cold is on the way. Heavy snow at times, with the heaviest being around 7 or 8 this evening. Once that gets out of the way, some more lake effect on the way. We'll talk about those details coming up. All righty. We are clear from TV, from Channel 5's end, but we're still live and kicking here on Facebook Live and on YouTube. So if you've been sticking around for the last half an hour plus, thank you so much for sticking around. Take a little bit of a water break here. I forgot I brought myself some water here, but much needed because it's hard to talk for an hour straight, but this is what we got going on right now. Let's see here. All right. We have, hold on, let's see here. We got this comment on YouTube. This is a nothing burger. Cleveland forecaster's always wrong. I mean, have you been watching what I've been showing? This is just the beginning. This is not a nothing burger. I mean, in my books, 4 to 8 inches is not a nothing burger. And we've been talking about this since last week about the potential for this time frame. We've been letting you know about this for a while. So if you're new, if you are happening to find us in your algorithm on Facebook, make sure you're following along, following the News 5 Facebook. Make sure you're following me along as well. Let me actually pull up that information here for you real quick, because I've been talking about this for a while. Let me just play this in motion. So if you're new, this is my Facebook right here. I've been putting these updates nonstop, even on my days off, because I love weather. I live, sleep, breathe weather. This is my Facebook. I also occasionally post on Instagram and on X. There are my handles. If you're new, make sure you're following along, because Cleveland forecaster's always wrong. We have the receipts. I have the receipts. So that's definitely not true. Not at all. So, let's Let's see here. All right, we got a couple more comments. Patrick saying snow covered in Olmsted Falls. Snow covered. Question for you, Patrick. Is that on the road, on the grass, on the car top? I'm curious which surfaces. That's also very important because that's a good sign to know what the temperature is and how heavy the snow is falling. Let's see here. We got another comment. Happy you're on YouTube. Listen, so many different people love different social media platforms. So in 2026 especially, and now moving forward, we got to make sure we're on all the social media platforms, and News 5 will always deliver on that. So you can always trust us for that. Let's see here. Another comment on YouTube. Snow coming down in Broadview Heights. It's coming down, friends. And eventually we're going to see that snow really sticking. Curious. I'm going to pop back on here, Power 5 radar here. Bear with me. And Lake County is seeing that transition for real now. So Paynesville, you were mentioning how it wasn't quite snow yet. You're seeing that changeover happening right now. All right, I'm going to hide that. All right, let's see here. Michelle saying, Phil, we got a comment from Michelle saying Happy New Year to you. Phil says Happy New Year right back, Michelle. So he's going to be on at 5 o'clock. So I'm going to step aside just a few minutes before 5 o'clock so we can flip the switch, and Phil will be on the rest of the way this evening helping you out. I'll also make sure to help out on Facebook, kind of do a couple of posts and see what's going on with the snow. One thing's for sure, you want to be careful on the roads. I want to show that camera once again with the Shoreway real quick. So bear with me. I'm going to pull up that camera. Let's see here. Road is still wet. Okay, that's good to see. But, look at the train tracks. They're starting to get snow covered. This is new. 10 minutes ago when I showed you this shot, the train tracks were still clear. Roofs starting to, yeah, look at that blanket of white now. Literally in the last 10 minutes. This is getting interesting. Let's see. Mary commenting, Medina now just converting to snow from rain. Yep. Everything's on track. Thank you, Mary, for that report. We got a comment from YouTube. I wish we could send winter to northern Canada. That reminds me, I don't know if there are any youngsters watching here or any SpongeBob fans. You know the scene where Patrick's like, I wish we can push Bikini Bottom somewhere else. I mean, a lot of people wish that for snow and winter storms here in Northeast Ohio, just send it up to Canada. The opposite is happening. Literally the opposite. Let me show you this actually here. A little sneak peek. I'm going to do a better video on this in a little bit. Let me just find here real quick. Do I remember the graphic? Yes. Bear with me. This is not a completed product. I'm still working on it, so I'm going to get this out of the way. So you see this red line right here? Do you see this red line? This red line is a single parcel of air. Parcel of air is like a region of weather that has a particular temperature, right? So you can see Cleveland right here. I'm going to zoom back in here. You see that? You see that? So this is where we are in Northeast Ohio. This is for next Tuesday. So this is 6 days from now. Where is the air that's forecasted in 6 days coming from? Where is it right now? Let's follow the line. Up into Canada, now into northern Canada. I'm still going all the way up to near the North Pole. You see that? This is where our air for next week is coming from. This is an amazing, nifty tool called the high split model that not a lot of people know about. But as a meteorologist and someone who loves to do research and look at the latest and greatest technology that we have, you're only going to see this here on News 5 while I'm working on it. I might have just given some people a little glimpse in, maybe a little inspiration. So if you see this on another outlet, you'll know it came from here, from me first. This cold air next week is coming from near the Arctic Circle, making its way down through Canada and into Northeast Ohio. Yeah. So this is just the beginning of this pattern change. So I'm going to show you that 7-day one more time. And you're going to see real quick, look at the 7-day and look at the temperatures for next Tuesday. Look at that. 5 in downtown Cleveland. 5 it will feel like 10 below zero most likely early next week. So unfortunately, Jason, I cannot send winter to Northern Canada. Northern Canada is sending winter to us. So that's what it looks like there. Let's see here. Another comment here. Nothing in Edgewood, Eastern Ashtabula. You'll be one of the last people to see the snow. Let me go back to radar here. Bear with me. Yeah, the computer's slowing down a little bit. Just, I'm really doing a workout here with the graphics on the capabilities of our systems here. Yeah, listen, you're all light drizzle, rain, very little precipitation. But look what's waiting. Let me loop this radar real quick. Look at this. Look at this band that's developing right here. This band is heading for Ashtabula County and Lake County as well. So this is literally pushing this way, right? So let's see how many miles away is it. Let's do a little quick math here. So the heavy snow is 35 miles away from Ashtabula. And since this is moving at about a mile a minute kind of thing, it'll be about a half an hour to 45 minutes until you start to see the changeover to snow in Ashtabula itself. All right, hopefully that helps out a little bit with that comment there. Let me see a couple other. Samantha asking, will there be school tomorrow? So I'm not a school official. I can't tell or make that final decision, but I can advise on what I'm seeing and what to expect. I'm expecting some heavy bands of snow this evening, transitioning to lake effect snow tonight. So roads could be problematic tomorrow morning with on and off bands of snow. Some parts could see an inch of snow per hour, while other parts see light snow. So likely a lot of areas on the south side, east side of Cleveland, and into the primary and parts of the secondary snow belt will have rough conditions tomorrow morning. Comment here from Lori, the snow is sticking. Lori, where is this, where are you at? I need to know so that can help out knowing where the snow is sticking. June commenting, snowing good in Elyria right now. It most definitely is. Let me move the map here real quick to Elyria. Bam, look at that. Decent snow right now. You can see the darker shade of blue as well. That's literally on Route 113 right now. Northwest side of downtown Elyria, basically near the split with 90 and Route 2 here through Amherst. Decent snow. Continuing to push a little bit westbound, same idea here as well. And then we got Brown Elm as well. We got Vermilion. It's snowing pretty heavily. Question, Phil, is it possible for you to change the camera on Weather 8 to like a Vermilion maybe? On that one, the one with the Put in Bay ones. Yeah. All right. While Phil is doing that, yeah. So yeah, you can see it happening in real time. Phil. All right. So we got Vermilion checking in.
All our trade secrets.
Yeah, all our trade secrets. This is 271 at 480. By the way, look at this. Starting to see a little stickage on the grass. It's going to take another half an hour to an hour before it starts really sticking, but it's not going to have much. Is it dark already? Okay, I'm looking. Live look at Vermilion. This is I shouldn't have revealed the secret. This is Vermilion. This is what Vermilion looks like. The void. No, just kidding. No, it does not look like the void, but the camera is absolutely swamped with snow right now. Let's see a couple other ODOT. Oh, that doesn't look good. Is that the east side? What's on REM 19? This other camera. Where is that? The one on the right.
I-90 downtown.
Oh, is that? Oh, that's 90 on the east side.
That's East 55th.
East 55th. So that's not far from Midtown. That's just past Dead Man's Curve. And look at the visibility drop. We're talking about a 3/4 of a mile. Also, look, wait, is that snow trying to stick on the roads, Phil?
Maybe some slush.
That is some slush now trying to form. You can see it there on the roads. This is just the beginning, friends. This is going to get worse before it gets better. Once the sun goes down, that radiational effect is going to leave. So temperatures below freezing, no sun. It's going to really start to stick by about 6, 7 o'clock this evening. So watch out for that. See anything else interesting? We're back to Marblehead. Thank you, Phil. At least we can see that it's clearly snowing here in Marblehead. Let's see here. Zim saying slushy rain with some accumulations in parts of Paynesville Township and Concord Township. Interesting. Wow, it's already sticking. That's pretty wild. All right, we're 3 minutes away from big weather here on News 5 at 4. So I'm going to leave you in a couple of minutes. I also wanted to briefly here, hold on. I wanted to show, let's see here, what is the wind chill right now? Woo! Spot the cold front. Spot the cold front. Look at that. There's literally the cold front. It's right there. Man, we have great graphics here too. I mean, our new look that we debuted last year, this with our scripts group, incredible stuff. The colors, the look. I mean, I'm like a nerd when it comes to all the different kinds of broadcast production and stuff. Like, I mean, not to be biased, but like, our look is awesome. Our look is awesome. You can tell so many cool things with our stuff here. Alrighty. Let me just get ready here for my weather hit. Let's see what are the gusts looking like. Yeah, it's picking up on the west side. Okay. 2 minutes away. 2 minutes. Just make sure this works. That's not what it was supposed to do. Let me try this again. Let me just make sure this works real quick, guys, because I know we've had a couple of computer issues lately, so I just want to make sure this is good. All right, we're good. All right, so the graphic is not broken. That's good to see. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Okay, let's do that. And then, yeah, look at all that snow. If you think we're done, this is just the beginning, because we still have all of this Detroit area through Western Michigan. All of this still has to pivot on through. So, all right. I'm less than 1 minute away, so I'm going to get ready for my hit here. One more comment here from Kelly. We got snowing in Parma and grass almost. Wow. That's cool. Thank you for that update, Kelly. That's actually very helpful. All right, we're 30 seconds away. So I'm going to just get ready here for the weather hit here on TV. So you're going to see some of that TV magic one more time, as Daft Punk would say. All right. All righty. Again, let me know what you're seeing where you are. I'm going to check those comments in the next 4 minutes once I'm done with this. All right, 10 seconds away. Here we go on News 5 and Facebook Live and YouTube. All right, back to our weather alert as we're continuing to track heavy snow that is pushing in at a very bad time. Evening commute, once the sun goes down and we lose that radiation and the temperatures fall below freezing, we're already starting to see stickage. I mean, I was just reading some of our comments on our Facebook Live, which is still ongoing right now. It is sticking in Parma. Grass is covered. Out in Lorraine, full coverage. I was showing Marblehead, snow on the ground there as well. So this is literally in the last few hours as the last of the rain has pushed through. Cold air crashing on in. There's more snow off to the west. Look at all of this across Indiana, eastern Illinois, and much of Michigan. All of this still has to make it through our area before it pushes into Ontario and upstate New York. So we got plenty of time with this snow. This will continue for probably about 24 hours when all is said and done, when you include this system snow and the lake effect snow. So the snow will be heavy at times, and I think we'll start to get those snow-covered roads in the next 15, 30 minutes on the west side, Cleveland points west. It'll wait till about 7 o'clock south and east of areas like Akron. And south of Akron, you'll see a lot less snow than areas north of Akron. Here's how it looks like temperature-wise. Look at this. Down into the teens, feeling like near zero. So when all is said and done, you can see that big divide. Down toward Coshocton and New Philly, might not even get an inch. Might just be a coating on the grass later this evening. Lake effect does not reach you later tonight or tomorrow. But once you get north of Ashland along 71, north of Route 30, easily 2 to 4 inches. And then bullseye time, where it could be 4 to 8 inches, including on the west side, eastern parts of Lorain County, most of Cuyahoga County, and then into Lake, Geauga, Ashtabula, Portage, Summit, northern Summit County, 4 to 8. more like 4 or 5. And then where squalls persist, that's where you'll get closer to the 7 or the 8. Elsewhere, more like 4 and 5s are more common. The best chance for 8, 10, 12 inches of snow, that's going to be in our primary snow belt, eastern Cuyahoga, northern Geauga, very southern Lake, and eastern Ashtabula County. That's where you could get double digits, but isolated. Again, it's where the squalls persist. So that's what it looks like there. It's also very windy, so the other part of the story, even if you're not getting the significant snowfall, everyone's getting the cold. The wind combined with the snow and the falling temperatures is making it feel frigid out there. Look at these teens. It feels like 18 right now, Norwalk, 15 in Fremont, Sandusky at 16, Akron, Canton, still above freezing, but it already feels like freezing. You can literally spot the cold front on our map. Crazy. That doesn't happen very often. And watch what happens in the next hour or so. The temperatures only continue to drop. So by 9 o'clock this evening, if you have any evening plans, it will feel like about 10 here in Cleveland, single digits off to the west. And later on tonight, goose egg, 0 for us here in downtown Cleveland. Tomorrow morning's commute is going to be a very cold one of the coldest of the season. 4 below in Medina, Ashland, 5 below 0, 2 below in Millersburg. Very cold stuff. And that'll continue all day long through tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, at best, single digits to maybe 10 degrees. And it only gets colder, down to 13 tomorrow night, so a couple of degrees colder than tonight. We do briefly warm up, but a couple more inches are possible Friday into Saturday. We have one more injection of Arctic air that likely arrives Monday night. Look at the temperatures. And if I were to extend the 7-day out, we could have a prolonged stretch of nights in the single digits. All right, so clear for 4. Thank you, Bordy, in my ear, one of our directors. Going to wrap the Facebook Live in the next 5 or so minutes, but I just wanted to do the 411 real quick on what we're seeing right now. We're going to right back to the Power 5 radar. We last were in Vermilion. Let me zoom out of Vermilion right now. Let me head to most of the metro. I mean, man, looks almost like a sorbet right now. All righty, let's see here. Maureen on Facebook, getting slammed in West Park, everything covered with snow. Look at that. That's good to know. Thank you, Maureen, for that update. Let's see here. Tom, ouch, 7-0. Not miss being in Cleveland today. Yeah, I mean, I think you meant 7 below 0. In some parts of the area, it will feel that cold tomorrow morning. So be extra careful out there tomorrow for those who are across northern Ohio. Tom, I mean, northern Ohio has a lot of awesome things to do, but yeah, definitely harder to enjoy when it's that freezing cold out there. All right, any last reports, any comments? Comment now or forever hold your peace, because I'm going to be logging off this Facebook Live in a little bit. And Phil will likely be on later on. We do have the 5 and the 6 o'clock shows. We also, I know, have Academic Challenge taping. So, yeah, so I think Phil could be live later on this evening, so we'll continue that coverage. But next couple of minutes, last call. What are you seeing? How much are you seeing on the ground? Is it on the grass? Is it on the road? Or if you're still seeing rain, because a few of us are still seeing rain. Akron points south and east. It's still rain for now. Medina, all snow. Brunswick, all snow. Berea, Strongsville, Parma, all snow. West Park, we just talked about Westlake, all snow. Cleveland, all snow. Let me show you a couple more cameras here real quick. What are we looking at? So this is Shoreway, still wet roads. That's good to see. Now, temperature is going to drop to about 22 degrees at about 9 p.m. Salt becomes ineffective at about 22 and below. So any travel after about 8 or 9 this evening, make sure you're taking it extra careful, because the salt, pretend the salt's not even on the road. It's not going to do much out there. Let me switch the camera so you can see the poor visibility. Woo! Remember I showed you this, like, what, 8 minutes ago? We could at least make out the CSU building. Do you see the CSU building? I don't see it. I mean, I know where it is. It should be over here, but I don't see the building. We're now half a mile visibility right now. It's getting worse as we speak here in downtown Cleveland. All the roofs, snow covered. Road seems to be okay on 90 right now, just past Dead Man's Curve, but that can change in an instant. We know how that's going to happen. So once the sun goes down, game time for pretty bad road conditions. So if you can get out now, it's already kind of rough. It's only going to get worse before it gets better, friends. So keep that in mind. A couple more comments here. Last comments. You have one last chance to comment if you haven't yet. It's snow and heavy in Elyria. Thank you for that. That's very helpful. One more comment here. No snow in Old Town, Maine, but temperatures are dropping. Well, hello from Maine. Look at that. News 5 in Maine. Power of social media. One more comment. Yeah, appreciate that as well. And let's see. All righty. Going to wrap this up here, folks. Any other comments? Feel free to comment. I'll try to check it out on the Facebook stream, but otherwise, just stay safe out there this afternoon and evening. We'll have updates on News 5 at 5 and 6 live tonight, so make sure you tune in on your TV sets, on Roku, Fire Stick, Samsung TV, so keep that in mind. Alrighty, I'm going to wrap this up here. Stay safe, everyone, and I'm going to continue to track it here with Phil in the Weather Center. So I'll see y'all later.